Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're back doing Swiss drafting. Okay, Dragons of Tarkir, of course, with Fate Reforged. All right, we open Illusory Gains, which is pretty good because it's a mind control effect. However, it is, in my opinion, significantly worse than mind control because your opponent maintains a reasonable amount of control over what you're actually taking, which I don't like. Um, So though it is a mind control effect, I'm not sure if I'm on board first picking that. Although the next closest thing is like Sarkhan's Rage, which maybe I just like more because you can burn a face or a creature for 5. I mean, you have to take some damage too. Um, I don't know. I haven't really played with it. I played against it, and I wasn't super impressed. It's pretty good, but I think I'd rather just have the Sarkhan's Rage. Whether or not it's right, I guess we'll find out. But I'm going to first pick the Sarkhan's Rage. Okay. Follow-up pick, well, on color we have a Tarka Efreet and Seismic Rupture, both of which are pretty good. I think I probably like the Efreet more. Seismic Rupture is very good, though. It's a pretty awesome card. I've seen it played for huge value before as well. But the reason I like the Efreet is because it's pretty awesome. You can kill something, and then it's a 6/2 on top of that. Seismic Rupture is pretty much just a good card against aggressive decks, which is fine, but a Tarka Efreet's an actual good aggressive card. I think I'm just going to take the Efreet. I like the idea of killing X1s and ending up with a 6/2 out of it. It's pretty insane. Okay, follow-up pick. Let's see. Silk Wrap is good removal. On color, we have the Sabertooth Rider, though, which is very good, and I think certainly worthy of a pick here. There's nothing here that's forcing me into a second color, in my opinion. Bowmasters are very good. I like the Dragon Scarred Bear. I like the Silk Wrap. Other than that, yeah, this pack's not like insane outside of that, but yeah, let's take the Outrider. Staying on red. Ooh. Well, I'm fine with taking another Efreet. Ooh, Assault Formation. Well, that's not exactly the card you want with Tarka Efreet. But that's a cool card. I do think Assault Formation's good. Otherwise, Kindled Fury. No, I think it's pretty easy Tarka Efreet here for sure. Just getting some super high power guys, which pairs really well with our Formidable dude. Perhaps we are well geared for a green-red deck at the moment because we have these super high power guys, which just work so well with Formidable. What do the Quartermasters do again? They enter with 2 counters on them, so it's at least 3 mana, 3/3. Then you can remove a counter and put it on a different creature. That's pretty awesome. I think I even like that more than the bear. Yeah, I definitely like that more than the bear. I mean, regeneration is cool and all. Wait a second. For each creature target player controls, put a token onto the battlefield. It's a copy of that. That's pretty cool. I mean, the low cost of 9 mana. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna take Clone Legion, but Quartermaster seems pretty appealing here. And what am I giving up? I guess I'm giving up a Scream Reach Brawler, but I'd rather have this dude, I think, than a Scream Reach Brawler. And if I don't end up playing green, I'm still okay with passing up on a Scream Reach Brawler. It's not going to hurt my deck, I don't think. All right. Well, we have Evolving Wilds, but on color, we have Summit Prowler and Einok Artillerist. I think I actually like the Prowler more here. It is 4 mana, granted, but Artillerist, there's nothing wrong with Artillerist. I'd just rather pay 1 more mana and get 2 more toughness. Sounds right. And I like that more than the Evolving Wilds pick, I think, as well. So, all right, Summit Prowler it is. Okay. Well, this is interesting. We have a Kindled Fury. We have a Treadupon. Treadupon definitely seems good with a 6/2 dude. Could actually, this actually strikes me as a Treadupon deck, even more so than a Kindled Fury deck, honestly. That is some huge trample damage with the Tarka Efreet. So I think I'm just going to take that. Yeah, and I mean, Kindle Fury is good too. It is very good with high power, um, low toughness creatures, but Tread Upon Trample is a little bit too good to pass up here for what we're gearing up to build here. All right, I could take Tormenting Voice. It's also Volcanic Rush. Volcanic Rush, I mean, giving +2/+0 and trample to any of these guys is pretty insane. But Classodon Yearling strikes me as sort of the safe pick, since a 2/4 body is very good. Doesn't fit in with the rest of our creatures' themes so much, but a 2/4 body for 3 is a nice. I mean, look, it just stops Dromoka Warrior right in its tracks. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable taking a Yearling here over a Tormenting Voice. I do actually think Tormenting Voice is a good card too. All right, nothing of real substance here that I care about. Revealing Wind is not so good of a card. Could just take the Zephyr Scribe, I guess. Just in case red-blue becomes a thing, perhaps. It's possible. Okay, now I have Tread Upon number 2 or Guardian Shieldbearer. Well, I kind of like the Shieldbearer here in that it's both a combat trick. Not a great one. It actually reads worse than it plays, or reads better than it plays, which is kind of unusual considering it's a 2-drop creature as well as a potential 3/2 with a combat trick. But I think I like it a little bit more than the second Tread Upon right now. I feel like I can see another Tread Upon perhaps in the next couple packs, or the next pack rather. Here I think I'll just take the rare. I don't really. I mean, I guess Battle Master. It's not like Hedonist Trove is worth anything. Guess we take the Battle Mastery in case we end up white for some reason. I mean, a 6/2 double strike also seems very good. I like the Elemental more than the Rock. I guess I have a few Morph guys though. Maybe this Deceiver could pay off potentially. If I end up in blue. I mean, at this point, I'm likely going to be green-red. All right, I'll just cut the green card. I certainly don't care about a Dragon's Eye Sentry. Well, Mind Rot is a playable card. All right, so we ended up with a decent pack one. Nothing super bomby. I could have taken Illusory Gains, right? But I took an Antarctica Efreet instead. I don't regret that. No, I took a Sarkhan's Rage instead. I don't regret it. That's okay. Okay, so green and red picks. Well, we have Sprinting Warbrute, which I guess seems like the pick here. Otherwise, Kindled Fury, another combat trick, or Einok Artillerist, but I think I'd rather have the Sprinting Warbrute than the Artillerist. It's a bit more aggressive, although I guess our curve, if we put everything in their non-Megamorph state, but I feel like a Targa Efreet, you have to Megamorph. Like, you don't ever want to hardcast an Efreet. You're just losing out on some good value there. Let's take the Warbrute. I think it's fine. I think it's fine here, I should say. All right, Beastbreaker. It seems like a pretty good time to pick that up. Hardened Berserker seems fine, but what I don't like about it in this deck is that ramp doesn't... Like, if I had a bunch of 5-drops, I'd probably be more inclined to take Berserker, but I actually like Beastbreaker a ton in this deck, since it's straight up formidable with either of our Atarka Efreets, which is pretty insane, actually. So I think we're just going to slam an Atarka Beastbreaker. We're actually looking for cheaper spells to play as well. All right, Beastbreaker number 2 seems fine. I definitely like it more than the Aspirant. It's also a Calcisma Behemoth, which is certainly good in Formidable as well. So is this worth splat? Is that worth anything? I better check prices. It's worth 1 ticket. That's not necessary. So Calcisma Behemoth versus second Beastbreaker. I'm kind of feeling the second Beastbreaker, but this is also a warrior, which is interesting. I didn't realize that. That's kind of weird. That's an ogre too. How come that doesn't look like an ogre or a warrior? It's kind of interesting. So Behemoth or Beastbreaker. I mean, Beastbreaker's probably, well, I'm going to take the Beastbreaker. I like the Behemoth a lot, but I feel like I'm going to be busy with my mana. Whether or not that's true remains to be seen. But all right, you know, I'm fine taking Beast Breakers all day. They are definitely better than bears, and I like it more than Dragon Fodder in this deck as well. So all right, I'm perfectly content with taking a bunch of Beast Breakers here. Okay, Volcanic Vision would be good if I had more than Sarkhan's Rage. I guess I have a Tread Upon too. Otherwise, double Pinion Feast in this pack, another Volcanic Rush, and a Lightning Berserker. I say we just go with big 7-drop. The upside to it is pretty huge, and what I'm missing out on, I actually like Lightning Berserker, I think, more than most people do. But it doesn't have the best interaction with our Beast Breakers. And I like the potential that Volcanic Vision can do if I see some more instants or sorceries. Based on the ones I have now, I'm not going to play it, but if I can find some more, I'm certainly going to be happy I have it. All right, Silumgar's Command also I know is not worth anything. We don't have any dragons. We don't really have a need to play black. Can take the Chasm. It's not super exciting, but I've never had it played against me, but it certainly feels like a card that just reads win the game, so we'll take it, especially in this super high power deck we have. Okay, Lose Calm is a steal effect, which is good, and it does interact with Volcanic Vision, worthy of noting. Otherwise, I'm taking a Scion of Ugin. I think I want the Scion since it has synergy with Sarkhan's Rage. I guess, I mean, it's not like insane. It's not necessary, but it is a big, fat flyer dragon. That's certainly not bad. Otherwise, I take a Lose Calm steal effect, which is actually pretty good too in this deck. But I think I'd rather have the dragon. Well, I've already got so many creatures. No, that's fine. We'll take the dragon. All right, I think here, well, Rending Volley is sideboard card only. It's a pretty awesome sideboard card, I should add. Can't be countered 4 damage for 1 mana. It's pretty insane. But there's also Guardian Shieldbearer, just another creature. Sandstep Scavenger, which is fine, but not exactly necessary. And Vial of Dragonfire, which is also fine. And I've got a pack to find. I think I'm going to take the Rending Volley. I feel like this sideboard value is too good to pass up. I mean, that's like 1 mana Dragon Killer, right? That's pretty insane. And I feel like I'm going to be able to find enough playables where I don't need the second Shield Bearer. Let's take the Artillerist here, which is actually just very good for our formidable deck at this point. Okay, Evolving Wild. Well, Stormrider Rig might actually be good enough to play in this deck. Yeah, green-red beatdown with Stormrider Rig. I mean, Evolving Wild's pick here lets me splash. But I think we're actually going to play the Stormrider Rig in here. At this point, the Volcanic Vision is almost assuredly not getting played. Guess I can take a Custodian. This really isn't a deck that wants it, though, but there's nothing else for me, really, so I'll take it. I guess Marsh Hulk. I don't guess. Marsh Hulk is a good card, so I guess I'll take it. Volcanic Rush. Hey, at this point, Volcanic Rush is very playable in this deck, and pretty good sign for red if it's on the wheel. Resupply. I guess I'll hate it. Whatever. Okay. So 19 cards. How many do we have that turn on Volcanic Vision? We only have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cards currently that turn on Vision. So out of this Fate Reforged pack, I'm really going to be looking for Hunt the Weaks and Burn Spells and such. And Bathe in Dragonfire, which is very easily our first pick here. We're very good on creature count currently. We only need like a couple more to have a certain, more than enough than necessary. I think our first cut is likely, well, currently Volcanic Vision. I mean, it's a strong card. It is. But unless I have like 7, I'm going to need 7 instants and sorceries. Maybe that's why I should have taken the Evolving Wilds over Storm Rider Rig. If I actually legitimately wanted to make Volcanic Vision work, I probably don't have space for Storm Rider Rig. It's got to be instants and sorceries or creatures only if I really want to make... If I realistically want to play Volcanic Vision, I think that's likely how it's got to be. Well, geez, if I had taken Evolving Wilds, I could have splashed an Elite Scale Guard, which is pretty insane, but I'm still pretty happy taking this Goblin Heel Cutter. I mean, certainly you're not going to find me complaining about taking a Heel Cutter, so especially not with double the Tarka Efree. Yeah, we're looking pretty massively beatdownish. All right, Hunt the Weak, Wild Call. This is our pack. This is our pack. So we have Beastmaster, which unfortunately doesn't work so well with our high power, low toughness plan. But I mean, it's still like just built-in card advantage. Otherwise, there's Hunt the Weak, which I said I wanted, but I don't know why I said that. Our guys are low toughness, so it's not like they're that good with Hunt the Weak. I may just want the Wild Call. I mean, this card is potentially huge. It's a 2-mana. It's a 2-mana 2/2, or it only gets better from there. It's basically like a Green Sun Zenith static huge creature. Basically, the more mana you pump into it, the bigger it gets. It's just very good. Especially, and it works, it works very well with our Formidable plan as well. It's good early, it's good late. I think that the mark of a good card is good early, good late. Beastmaster is good most of the time, but I feel like Wild Call is never really bad unless you can't cast it. All right, Bathe Dragonfire number 2, certainly getting the go-ahead. I think Frontier Mastodon would be a welcome addition to this deck as well. But yeah, I mean, you got to take the Bathe, right? Hopefully table a Humble Defector or the Frontier Mastodon. We'll see how lucky we are with that. Okay, Formless Nurturing is fine. I think it's more exciting than Dragon Rage. Could take the Return to the Earth. We're a little bit removal light. Well, I mean, we're a little bit removal light. I think Return to the Earth is very playable main deck. But the question is, would I rather have a Formless Nurturing? I think no. I think I'd rather have a Return to the Earth for sideboard. Because we have 15 creatures, including Wild Call currently. And we're up to... And actually, how did I not mention that? Wild Call is actually still another card I can play with Volcanic Vision. Granted, it's 7 mana, return a Wild Call, and only deal 2 damage to your opponent's creatures. But still, it's acceptable. Let's take the Return to the Earth for sideboard. Dragon Killer all day. Well, given the same decision once again. Probably don't need a second Return to the Earth. Do I even need a Formless Nurturing, though? What am I playing it over? I don't know. I think I can actually get away with Magmatic Chasm in this deck. Maybe Colossadon Yearling's not what we're looking for. It's just like a solid creature, but we're more of a beatdown card or deck, and Colossadon Yearling's not that beatdown. But it is a more efficient body than the Formless Nurturing. But then again, Formless Nurturing is another card I can do Volcanic Vision with. All right. I think I take it. Well, I'll decide in the end if I want to do it. All right. I definitely want to take a Frontier Mastodon and play it. Maybe that seems like a more logical swap for the Colossadon Yearling. Well, this is interesting. I mean, Whisper of the Wilds is good. I'm not sure this is a deck that needs Whisper. We have 1 7-drop. Like, I'd almost rather just have the Dragon or the Goreswine, actually, with triple Beastbreaker. Yeah, this this could be a Goreswine deck, actually. See, my thing is, I don't think our deck needs Whisper of the Wilds. We top out at 7 with 1 card. We have a 6-drop, but the rest is, like, unnecessary ramp. And I do like Destructor Dragon, but I think lowering our curve, continuing to lower the curve is probably better. All of these synergistically high power, low toughness creatures, it's like exactly what we're looking for. I think I am going to ultimately cut the rig, which means I probably could have just taken Evolving Wilds over it and ultimately been more satisfied, but it's fine. It's not like it's going to cost our deck anything. All right, collateral damage, I guess I can take. I mean, It can burn face, which is good in beatdown. Just not sure I'm going to need it. 7 mana to return a collateral damage, deal 1 to each of my opponent's creatures. A bit underwhelming. All right, some late War Flares. Somebody could get heavily rewarded for that. So I think I'm going to, because War Flare got really good in this format. I think I'm just going to hate the War Flare. It's not a card to be trifled with. All right. I probably just take the Rugged Highlands, make my mana better. I don't think I'm going to play an Inok Guide or a Map the Wastes in here, so it's like a free help my mana base. All right, I'm going to hate Grim Contest for sure. Basically, Grim Contest and Warflare are some of the main reasons to be in enemy colors out of the gates with your first couple packs. All right, I don't care about any of these. Sure. Okay. All right. So we have a good deck. We only have to make a couple cuts. I'd still like to play the Volcanic Rush. Mostly because of Volcanic Vision synergy, which it shouldn't be because it's beyond, which shouldn't be the main reason, because honestly it's good. It's way good outside of that too. We have a lot of good cheap beaters. But if we group stuff separate, I gotta be honest, I'm not thinking it that likely that I'm going to play Magmatic Chasm, but I can if I want. All right. So if we move stuff to their 3-drop slots, get a better picture of what our deck looks like. The -2, Formless Nurturing. All right, so Volcanic Vision currently has 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 spells that I can return. I mean, that is the adequate, in my opinion, the amount that... does it deal to the player, too? Just creatures. Okay. Well, I mean, you get a spell out of it, too. But I probably still play it. So then the question is, what do I want to cut? Heal Cutter's like a 3-drop, too. So I kind of want to play both. I'm definitely playing Wild Call, but the question is, do I want to do Formless Nurturing? Honestly, I think 7 mana... return a Formless Nurturing to your hand, deal 4 damage to each of your opponent's creatures. That's pretty big upside. How much worse is Formless Nurturing than, say, Summit Prowler or Sabertooth Outrider? It's probably quite a bit worse. Maybe Guardian Shieldbearer is the unexciting card in this deck. Like I said, it's a combat trick, but it's proven to be a bit mediocre. It's tough to cut 2 drops. How good is Magmatic Chasm in this deck? You know, I haven't played it yet, but it does feel like a card, especially in this deck, that can just read win the game. On a stalled board state, I've got like an F readout and a Rider getting in for 10 damage. Maybe I should ditch the Chasm, though. Maybe ditching the Chasm is right. I kind of wanted to try this card. I know from experience that Guardian Shieldbearer is pretty mediocre. Surprisingly mediocre. Yeah, let's give Chasm a try. I have yet to play against it. I've yet to play with it. This feels like a deck with these super high power creatures where Magmatic Chasm could be good. Granted, it's creatures without flying, but aren't your opponent's creatures with flying like always attacking you anyway? Maybe that's incorrect. I don't know. But I feel like I've got enough high power guys where Magmatic Chasm can be pretty awesome. And I'm running 16 creatures with Wild Call and Formless Nurturing. And I have 8 spells that I can return with Volcanic Vision, which I said, once again, is certainly enough. Yeah, I like this deck. It looks very good. Looks very strong. We've got a Rugged Highlands, so we probably just end up doing... I think we just do an even split. Because we have the double green for Wild Call, which I might need early. And we have all the Beast Breakers early, too. So 9 of each mana source. And overall, a pretty decent-looking deck. You know, Green-red beatdown, adequate amount of removal. We've got Tread Upon Trick, Double Bathe in Dragonfire, Sarkin's Rage. Volcanic Rush is kind of a combat trick too. 16 creatures. I think I'm going to run it like this. So giving this deck a rating. I can't rate it super high because we don't have any super bombs. Yeah, we really didn't end up getting any like super bomby creatures. We don't have good flying defense outside of, you know, some removal and potentially an artillerist if I move a counter on it. Or I get it underneath a Formless Nurturing or something like that. Or a Wild Call. But yeah, outside of that, not much in the flying defense department. Decent sideboard action with our Rending Volley. And maybe collateral damage if I'm feeling spicy. But yeah, so we'll give Volcanic Vision a try in this deck, see what we think of it. I do think there is enormous potential upside with this card. Of course, the downside being it's a 7-drop that requires you have an instant or sorcery in your graveyard, but let's see how it plays. All right, so I guess final rating on this deck, I'll give it a, I can't give it too high. I think I'm going to end up giving this deck about a 6.5 out of 10. I'd like to give it higher, but I think giving it a 7 might not be too realistic. 6.5 or 7. I'll give it around there because we look like we're a pretty consistent beatdown deck. So we'll see how it plays. We'll see you round 1.